Good morning, students. Welcome to today's class. We saw how, with the help of correction slip, Governor thought that Evans had gone to Newbury, and the governor is very sure that very soon, very shortly, Mr. Clever Evans would be behind the bars. The phone on his desk erupted in a strident, highest, sudden burst, and Superintendent Carter informed him that McCleary had spotted Evans during off along Elsfield Way. They had got the number of the car all right and had given chase immediately, but had lost him at the Headington roundabout. So there was Carter, with whom McCleary had gone to find Evans, and Carter informed him that McCleary had spotted Evans only. Carter had not seen. Okay, please note this down too. McCleary saw Evans and his car. They had noted down the number of the car and they gave him a chase immediately, but they had lost it near roundabout. Roundabout was also written in the paper. He must have doubled back into the city. Carter's opinion is that he must have returned to the city. No, said the governor quietly. He's now not confused or nervous. He said very quietly, no. He is on his way to Newbury. He's so confirmed that I have now uh, understood the plan, and he's very sure that now Evans had gone to Newbury. He explained his reasons for believing so and left it at that. It was a police job now, not his, because detective was not able to find anything. It was governor who had understood each and everything from the question paper, from the correction slip. He was just another good for a giggle, gullible governor, that was all. This is a very important line. Sometimes you just get this line and asked to explain it in 6 marks. So governor was just another good for a giggle, laughing stock. Okay. And gullible, the person who believes on the things or the people easily. That was all. So this is said about the governor, that he was a laughing stock and he was a person who believed the things very easily. This line tells us that if the governor was believing on that correction slip and the paper, he was not smart. Why not? We'll see in the further text. By the way, Carter, I hope you managed to get McCleary to the hospital all right, governor asked. Yes, he is in the Radcliffe now. Radcliffe is a hospital. Really groggy, weak he was when we got to the examination offices, and they rang for the ambulance from there. So when they reached at the examination board, at that point McCleary was very weak. Otherwise he was still having some kind of life and he was guiding Carter. But when they reached examinations board, then McCleary went weak. This is also to be noted. The governor rang the Radcliffe a few minutes later and asked for the accident department. So the governor thought that, like a good human being, he should ask for the health of McCleary. So he called at the hospital. McCleary, you say? The person who picked up the phone asked. So you want to ask about McCleary? Governor said, yes, he's a parson. And the person who picked up the phone said, I don't think there is anyone. So in the accident department, there was no patient named McCleary. Although the examination board called ambulance, okay, but still there was no McCleary in the hospital. So where is McCleary? Yes, there is. Governor was very sure. He said, there is. You will find one of your ambulances picked him up from Elsfield Way about. He wants to remind him that one of your ambulances picked him up. Oh, that. The person of the accident department said, oh, that. Yes. We sent an ambulance all right, but when we got there, the fellow had gone. Okay, the call for ambulance was there. Carter came from there. He did not wait for the ambulance. He just left McCleary there and he came back. Ambulance person says that when ambulance went there, the person had gone and McCleary was so injured, how could he go on his own? No one seemed to know where he was, and in the examination board too, nobody knew where McCleary had gone. Just vanished, not a sign. This is very important. McCleary had got vanished, disappeared. There was not a single sign of him. But the governor was no longer listening now, and the truth seemed to hit him with an almost physical impact somewhere in the back of his neck. And this truth was actually hitting him like something physically is hitting him on the neck. Now he is getting all the truth. Okay. A quarter of an hour later, they found the Reverend S. McCleary, Reverend respected, securely, tightly bound and gagged, gagged to close the mouth with something. In his study in Broad Street, he had been there, he said, since 8:15 a.m. when two men had called. So the real McCleary was there in his apartment since 8:15 a.m. So he didn't go for the duty in the Oxford prison. So the person who came as McCleary was not actually the real McCleary. Okay. Inquiries in Newbury throughout the afternoon produced nothing. They just called at every hotel and every point. Police was also there. But in Newbury, they did not find any Evans. When McCleary was not real, how could he know in reality where Evans was? How could he guide Carter? That is the reason McCleary did not let governor say anything, and McCleary, who was hurt, was behaving like I'm all right and just called the police. He did not want to go to hospital, and it was only McCleary who saw Evans's car. It means somewhere McCleary was also involved in Evans's escape. Okay, he was a partner in crime. So nothing at all, and by tea time, everyone in the prison knew what had happened. This is very, very, very important. See carefully. It had not been Evans impersonating McCleary who had walked out. It had been Evans impersonating McCleary who had stayed in. So it was sure that Evans had impersonated McCleary. उसने McCleary की तरह अपने आप को डिस्गाइज कर लिया था. लेकिन जो बाहर गया स्टीफन्स के साथ, जिसको स्टीफन्स ने बाय बाय किया, वो इवांस नहीं था. दैट वॉज McCleary. बट द पर्सन हु वॉज इन साइड, जिसको चोट लगी थी, द पर्सन हु वॉज ब्लीडिंग, वो इवांस था. एंड दैट ब्लीडिंग वॉज ऑल्सो आर्टिफिशियल एंड नो ब्लो वॉज देयर. बट अभी क्वेश्चन ये राइज होता है, हाउ डिड ही अरेंज टू हैव ऑल द थिंग्स टू इम्पर्सनेट McCleary? वो McCleary जो आया वो उसका फ्रेंड ही था, because real McCleary was bound in his apartment. So now we'll have to see इवांस को ये सब एक्टिंग करने के लिए उसको ब्लड एंड हेयर कट उसने किया एंड clothes. Where did he get all this from? And now the scene changes. It is very important. It is now the scene where Evans was enjoying his freedom. Okay. The fish and chips were delicious, and after a gentle stroll walk round the center of Chipping Norton is a place. Evans decided to return to the hotel and have an early night. So Evans was actually at Chipping Norton. He was not at Newbury, and he just decided after having a meal that he would go and have an early night. A smart new hat concealed. Concealed means hidden the wreckage, damage of his closely cropped hair. His hair was so loving to him. He was having wavy and curly hair. We saw it in the beginning that Jackson did not like his wavy and curly and long hair. But he had to cut his hair just to look as similar as McCleary was. Now the question arises, how did he know how would McCleary look? We'll see it as well. And he kept it on. He was having his new hat as he walked up to the reception desk of the Golden Lion. Golden Lion is the name of the hotel. It would take a good while for his hair to regain its former glories. His hair would be like beautiful like former times, but it will take a time. But what the hell did that matter? He was out again, wasn't he? He was very happy that he was out again for the fourth time. A bit of bad luck with that when Jackson had pinched his scissors, for it had meant a long and tricky operation with his only razor blade the previous night. He had to cut his hair, and the scissors was taken away by Jackson. So how did he cut his hair? See, he was having a single razor with which he shaved himself in the morning, in the same morning when the examination was there. With that single razor, he cut his hair the previous night. So he beforehand he knew already that how McLeary is going to look in the morning because he was his friend. Now the question arises, how was he able to manage all this planning, okay, with the friend, that you would come like McLeary and you would look like this and I would also be looking like this. How was it possible? Because Evans was in prison, in cell. So how did he make all this planning? Just think if Jackson had made him take his bobble hat off. Jackson wanted him to take his hat off. अगर वो हैट उतर जाती तो जैक्सन को पता चल जाता, ओह इसने अपने हेयर कट किए हुए हैं, सो देयर इज सम प्लान. उसका प्लान फेल हो जाता. फ्यू इज एन इंटरजेक्शन that really had been a close call. So he was very closely escaped because he emotionally convinced Jackson that, oh, this is my lucky charm and today is my exam, so I don't want to remove this hat. So emotionally, he convinced Jackson. Still, old Jackson wasn't such a bad fellow. One of the worst things, funny really, had been the beard. अब उसको beard भी चाहिए थी. He had always been allergic to sticking plaster, and even now his chin was irritatingly sore and red. जो false beard होती है, that comes with plaster. And he was very allergic to it, but still he had to wear that beard, and still his chin was irritating, sore and red. So now in the next video we would be coming to know how did he arrange that beard. Most importantly, how did he plan for all this? How could his friend come as McLeary so easily? So that we'll see in the next video. And now some common English idioms for the day, which are very popular. First is a blessing in disguise. It means a good thing that seemed bad at first. We regret, why is this happening to me? But that comes for good in the later times. So, a blessing in disguise. Next, a dime a dozen. It means something common. Okay, beat around the bush. It is also very popular. Avoid saying what you mean, usually because it is uncomfortable. You see about all the things related to it, but you do not come to point. It means you are beating around the bush. Better late than never. Better to arrive late than not to come at all. This is specially written on the roads so that the people should drive in the speed limit and they should take care of their lives. So note down these idioms and frame the sentences as well. Have a great day.